Does the brain choose to be unhappy? In some cases, the brain may find unhappiness safer because the brain is designed not to be happy but to survive. So, does the brain seek something to be unhappy about? It doesn't consciously seek it, but it is programmed to look for danger. This is called negativity bias in neuroscience. That is, the brain perceives bad news faster than good news, retains negative memories more strongly, and exaggerates risks. Why? Because for our ancestors, it was not about being happy, but about seeing danger early, which meant survival. The person who survived was not the one thinking what a beautiful day it is while walking in the forest, but the one asking if there is a rustle over there. There is a rule in the brain. The neural pathways you use become stronger. If you are constantly complaining, thinking about the past, or creating fear scenarios, a negative highway forms between the prefrontal cortex and the amygdala. And the brain always says, this person always thinks this way, then let this be the default mode. We can call this emotional automation. So, unhappiness sometimes becomes not an event, but a habitual neural pathway. And some people accustomed to this path feel an inner unease even when they are happy. The reason is that the brain turns into a prediction machine. The brain may perceive an unfamiliar emotion as a threat. For example, if someone who has been stressed for a long time suddenly finds themselves in a peaceful environment, the nervous system might say, "This is strange, is something going to happen?" Because the nervous system wants to operate at the frequency it is accustomed to. That's why the phrase often used by our elders, "We laughed a lot, something's going to happen to us," corresponds to this in the brain. Now, we come to the solutions part. We are starting to explain the scientific resets for unhappiness. Reset 1, Horizon Hack. One of the things the brain does when it is unhappy is to narrow the field of vision. When the amygdala is active, the eyes switch to microfocusing. To reverse this, look at the farthest point where you are. Slowly move your eyes from right to left, relax your shoulders. This action affects the vagus nerve, sending the signal to the brain, no danger. Dessa aqui, do chanelas ai te setting. That's why some people feel relieved when they go for a walk while unhappy. It's not actually the walk, but the expanding field of vision that resets the nervous system. Reset 2, Reverse Happiness Paradox. Now I will tell you a very strange technique. Telling your brain to be happy directly when you are unhappy doesn't work, but consciously exaggerating unhappiness might work. How is it done? For 30 seconds, amplify the issue that makes you unhappy in your mind as much as you can. If there is a person making you unhappy, imagine them as a cartoon character. Now say this sentence, "This cartoon is over." The brain processes reality and imagination in the same center. Thus, the prefrontal cortex is activated and amygdala activity decreases. So, instead of fighting emotions, placing them on a mental stage relaxes the brain. And finally, happiness does not come with habits that harm your body. Happiness comes with your loved ones as long as you want it.